And we have arrived to the closure of season three. Season three? Season four? Season three of Grieving Completions. I got distracted because Miss Bentley joined us, but then hopped off, and that's okay. Completions. She's like, I'm done sitting in the back of your chair. I complete this journey. Sure, honey. Okay. Comical. Very, very funny that the last time we recorded an episode for this container for the season of Grief and Completions was almost a year ago. This is the last episode of the season. It was short, it was sweet, it was mini, it was potent. It ends. And the funny thing about this is how much time has gone by from the last episode to this episode. For me personally, what I'm feeling into that is there's this essence of spaciousness within the journey of completions and also within the journey of grief, everyone. If you tuned into the previous episodes this season, you know that this season was inspired by a heart-wrenchingly pulling, tearing experience of love for myself. A 7-year friendship ended abruptly. Someone who I envisioned pouring a lot of my energy and time into throughout all of my years ended. And that was a huge experience of grief for me. And I noticed that I thought, right when I thought the analytical, like never go by the analytical, it's not for that. But anywho, right when I thought that I moved past the essence of grief, hit me. Now, I went to Greece, as you know, last summer, and that experience within the Cave of Chiron was so intense, otherworldly intense. And I just went to Kansas City 2 weeks ago for poetry experience. I'm in a poetry class, and our poetry teacher, Chelsea Diane, from Poems and Power Publishing, and also, yeah, Poems and Power, invited all of her students to attend this poetry and artistic event at a mansion. And it was only women. She only teaches to women. Now, in this experience, right prior to that event, I stumbled into a antique shop where a local Kansas City woman poured out the story about Medusa, the largest, I believe it was anaconda snake, second largest anaconda snake in the world. I hung on every single word this woman was sharing. I wholeheartedly believed the story. I wholeheartedly believed the story. The trip on this, though, everyone, is there's a red thread. There's a red thread between Greece and Kansas City. There's a red thread between this otherworldly experience of, did that just happen or am I having a psychotic break? That's real. That is real. Is this actually happening or am I no longer here? It's a trip. Now, there's a process of grief within that because you're kind of grieving that essence of what you thought you knew was reality is no longer reality. For me personally, I've moved through this a few times now where I'm so rooted in God and in the human that is dressed of me that I know for certainty that I am here. I am safe. It is okay. But it's still an essence of like, what just happened? Now, something else that's interesting between these two locations and these two events that happened almost a year apart. Greece happened in August, end of July, and Kansas City happened in like mid-May, end of May. The secondary thing is around the Greek god and goddesses, the myth, the Greek myths. We had Cave of Chiron. The god of Chiron trained my vocal in Kansas City. Medusa came forward strong. Now, in this essence of grieving, I noticed also that when I traveled to Greece, there I was like really in the weeds, still processing the grief over the story keeper, my past love, and a dear friend of mine who I may never see or talk to again. And that's okay because we let go. We let go. Now that it was like peaked in Greece. And then when I went to Kansas City, gone. Up until that moment, everyone wholeheartedly truthful. I was still holding on a little bit. I'm like, okay, am I still gonna see him? I really want to see him. No. When I went to Kansas City, I like fell deep into the girl crush. And I'm like, oh my gosh. That has never, maybe that's happened before, but I've never said it out loud and I've never admitted it to myself. Okay. In Kansas City, I'm like, oh, goodbye, story keeper. I just found a whole different expression of love that I've never experienced before. This feels way more exciting to me. So there's something powerful about grief in the way of when we go out bravely and live life, even when it's scary, something magical happens. What once was the texture of grief is now the texture of celebration. What once was the texture of sadness is now the texture of gratitude. And there is no time limit. That's what the season has taught me, or has like elevated to me. In the journey of grief, regardless of where or why the grief comes forward, there's no time limit. It may require a month, may require a year, may require 3. What I'm offering to everyone here is in that journey, experiment with being seen and bravely stepping out into the world of other souls dressed as humans and witness the new memories that are made and listen for the whispers of God, listen for the whispers of wind that moves you in a direction because that direction may or may not actually plant a new seed within you. And it's really beautiful that grief comes with completion. There's a completion that just took place within me in Kansas City, a completion of identifying in one way and now identifying in another way, a completion of identifying as straight, period, and entering a new realm of no labels. We just gonna do. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to feel what I feel. I'm going to breathe what I breathe. I'm going to move where I move and let it be so. Let it be. It is done. And I respect and celebrate any soul, any human who resonates with a label. You know, we're going to do what we're going to do to feel safe in the moment and to feel like we belong. Sometimes the labels offer a group there to where we can move towards so we can belong in that space. The mission, the experiment maybe, is to take a step back or take a few steps back. Maybe you hop or skip or dance back and explore what it's like to begin belonging within. Because once the belonging takes place within, it's my personal belief in this moment in time that a label's not needed. You just belong, honey. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to say, label this, label that. No, you just be. You just be. You know? You just be. So within the grief, there's a completion. And when you go out and live your life, you complete your life. You complete cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. Something really interesting also occurred this rising is so some of you may or may not know Dr. Michelle Patrick. I love her. She is a Chinese medicine doctor and is deeply wise within the realm of organ theory and the mastery of the body, the mastery of the internal. This is something I really resonate with. I've taken like a mini master class with her. I've read this organ theory one-on-one book from beginning to end, and I just received the actual physical copy that she just released within the past few days. And I knew that this book in my hands was going to be some type of a roadmap. Maybe not even the information in the book, but maybe just holding the book in the hands is some type of roadmap of completion for me. I've been moving through a scalp journey for years, years. 2014, I was losing my scalp so bad in like chunks. It hurt so bad. And like my hair was falling out. It's stress probably because I was living with my mom. She kicked me out at the time. Like it was a hot mess, you know? But it could have also, what I'm starting to learn from Dr. Michelle Patrick is everything isn't just energetics. And like the human body is so wise, so wise. The electrical currency in the conversations, it's like the mycelium network within the human. So, yes to the energetics, hand raised for that, but also yes to the wisdom of the body and the organs, and then we speak together. And the elements and the Ayurvedic practices and the belief system within there, there's always a space for everything and everyone. So within the scalp journey, that was like the first flare up I had in like 2014, so well over 10 years. And it's never to that extent. That was bad, everyone. That hurt real bad. Never to that extent, but it's flared up. And now there's been like a consistent, like just dander. It's dry, it's uncomfortable. And then I'm noticing like other parts of my skin. I've never had skin issues ever. And I'm noticing the skin organ is starting to like really bring in conversation. They're speaking to me. So this rising, I was talking to this person on Instagram who I met in Kansas City, and they elevated something around just something they're moving through. So I brought in the conversation of organ theory just because it's right front and center of me right now. And then after doing that, I realized, oh my gosh, honey girl, yes for them, yes, bringing it forward for them, but remember, this is for us right now in this moment. There is something that we're being invited into to complete. Now, the scalp for me comes from the paternal lineage. My dad and my Pepe both have dander, lots of dander. My Pepe did, he's transitioned now. But my name, Renee Jeanne Lemieux, is all the paternal. And more than paternal, it's all my Pepe's. It's all my Pepe's ancestry. Renee is his middle name, Lemieux is his last name, and then Jeanne is his aunt's first name. So it's all on his side. So I acknowledge that there is a paternal pattern that is being passed down that I have raised my hand for completion. So this is the beautiful thing, is completion comes in layers. We can complete a project. We can complete a thought. There can be completion around an action in the human form in this moment. But then, and also, there can be a completion with the lineage. Many of us, especially if you're tuning into this conversation, and know what? It's also like maybe just all of the soul stress in human. Maybe all of them have this. Like, we don't know, we do, but we don't. We know nothing, but we know everything. Is that there's a generational completion. Many of us have come in to say, hey, I choose to complete that pattern that has been passed down hundreds of years, or 50 years, or 10 years, or 5 years, whatever it may be. Most likely it's deep. And if it's within the body, that's deep. So I've raised my hand for that completion. But then you take another step back. We got another layer. And I'm soul dressed in human. I come from the plant Procyon. So that's really special for me and for all of us. And some people say Procyon. I don't like the k. Doesn't feel good. So I say I choose, I decide. Procyon. And so in that star, in that planet, I've raised my hand to complete that journey, whatever lessons I have there. So this is where we end it. Completions, doesn't matter how long it takes, just complete it. In grief, allow it to be, but go live your life. Meet the humans, witness how the grief transforms to gratitude. I love you. I'm Renee Jean Lemieux, and we're going to enter season 4 very soon, and we're so excited to complete this one. Finally. But no judgment, and like we're not upset about it. Okay. Toodles Papoodle, short, sweet, simple, boom, to the point.